Hey everybody, I am Mark Willis, Certified Financial Planner and Bank on Yourself Authorized Advisor. Pleased to walk through this little budget tutorial here. We have several hundred clients all around the country now that use their Bank on Yourself type whole life policies. And they have different personalities, is one thing I've noticed. And on one side of the fence, you might have someone who just packs money into that policy and throws that money in and never really thinks about it. In fact, they sort of forget that can be a problem. It's sort of an amorphous money blob, you could say, that really doesn't give them a whole lot of advantage for their overall financial life, their big picture financial goals, concerns they might have, and they think that it's no different than maybe their 401k or their house, equity. But it's very different. So on the other side of the spectrum, however, there's another danger, and that is someone who just rips the money out of their policy like it's a piggy bank and never really has a strategy or a plan to manage that policy like a tool that could be used for their benefit. So oftentimes that was my problem. I would see myself counting the dollars multiple times in my mind, thinking about that new car we needed to buy and forgetting about the other financial obligations we had for paying off a debt or paying for college or for our kids or for our taxes that we might need to pay. So it really became a mental gymnastic to try to not spend that money multiple times or accidentally spend too much on that vacation or that car. So we came up with this little tool that I think is fairly simple, straightforward. We're still working on it. So as you're watching this is a version as created on in April 2020. So we'll continually try to do updated versions of this. But I wanted to walk through how this little tool could be used for your benefit. So what we're looking at here is a budget template, which is really just it's a tool to help guide a conversation around priorities. So I'm looking at it here with you now, and this budgeting tool essentially helps you budget your cash value in your whole life policy, much like you'd budget any other savings asset bucket, whatever you might see. So the first thing you might want to do is write out your policies names up here. Let's say, for example, that you have 3 policies, and if you log into your website for your life insurance company, you'll notice that they have a few different numbers listed on the online portal. One of the numbers that you'll want to pay attention to for the budget anyway is the available loan value. The available loan value is the amount of money you can access today, right now, if you wanted, for any reason at any time. And since we're using this policy like a bank, not a true bank, of course, but like a store of value, you'll want to know what you can access for different goals and financial needs you have. So let's say, for example, that you named this policy, and let's say you gave the policy's name, say, Susie's policy 1, Bob's policy 2, Susie's policy 3. Okay, so again, we're looking for what is the available loan value for these different policies. All right, so what we have here is a number. We'll want to give this a number. So let's say that that's $23,000. You log into Susie's policy number 1, and as of today, that available loan value, and you'd write today's date up here. Once you've written today's date up here, again, we're doing this in early April, you'd start writing down all the available loan values per each policy you have. Very simple. Just log in and check. Maybe Bob's has $17,500 that day. And let's say Susie's third policy, the third policy for the family, has $9,250. Okay, so all together, they've got $49,750. That's what we have right here. So what our main plan is, what our goal is to get this number down to 0. So these are our unemployed dollars. We want to give every dollar a job. It's very simple. You just simply go down this sheet and start listing out your large expenses and your goals. And one thing you might do is read this little tooltip. Large expenses are regular purchases you intend to cycle through your policy, like a vacation or Christmas. And this can be done on any one of these cells on column A. So let's just pick a few. Maybe travel fund is one. Maybe a new car would be another one. Maybe you want to save up for the Oh, what's another one? Maybe the HVAC needs some repair. And maybe we want to also do pay off a debt. Maybe we have a debt, and we use something called the debt snowbank method to do that. Okay. Now, going on down the page here, you'll also want to have savings goals. Savings goals are things that give, I guess, longer term. It's maybe a one and done purchase. This could be like, maybe, for example, your emergency fund. We don't know when that emergency might come, but we need to be saving something in this policy that we're not using and spending, both for the health of the policy and for your own health too, financial health, that is. Maybe you want 6 months of living expenses in there. What's your goal? I don't know. Maybe it's 6 months of living expenses and you can pick any date you want, maybe in 2 years. So as of this recording, that'd be 2022 April. And we'll get into how you can save for that goal on a future video. What else could you save for? What about the kids' college fund? We can calculate what that would be. Maybe there's some other big goals. Maybe you want to do some rental real estate. So you have a conversation with your spouse, significant other, and you have a conversation about priorities. And you can make any notes you wish here, including any notes about the goal you want to take. But again, the main point of this video is to talk about getting that number down to zero, So let's start putting some numbers on here. Let's say you want to go on a big vacation. So you put $15,000 right here. And let's say, hey, you know what else? I want to get a $20,000 car. All right. So wait, notice what's happening here. We've gone from $49,750 to $14,750. We've spent $35,000 on paper, which is represented down here. We have to keep going until this reaches zero. So let's keep going. Let's say that we have $8,000 toward our HVAC, and let's say that we want to just start saving $2,000 toward the snowbank method to pay off our student loans or whatever it might be. As of today's date, now we're down to $4,750. Well, that doesn't really leave us a lot here for our emergency fund, does it? We really want more than that. We don't feel comfortable only having $4,750 down here. Certainly we could just type that in and be done. So what we'd need to do then is, let's say we wanted $20,000 down here. Well, we've overspent by $15,250. We need to figure out what we can do here. So why don't we trim down this travel fund? Maybe we have to forego that travel vacation. Maybe we'll just put $3,000 here for now, and we'll go visit the in-laws or something. And maybe instead of that nicer car, maybe we'll just do $16,750 to get right down to zero left to be budgeted. So we did some prioritization there on the spreadsheet. That's the point of this video. We'll have more videos to talk about what to do each time you log in and see different changes on your policy, but wanted to walk through that very simple step. Notice we've budgeted every dollar in our available loan value. We didn't actually take any loans today. We're just having a conversation about what this money needs to do for you before you need it next. So that's the key question in budgeting of any sort. And the good news is you're not having to track this anally. You're not having to watch it every week. The policies are going to be stable. They're going to be growing in a consistent way. You're not going to be taking loans necessarily every other day or week. Certainly, it's not as complicated as a checking account budgeting system even. Maybe you're only looking at this once a quarter or once every 6 months. So I hope this has been a helpful tutorial on how to talk through a budget conversation with your policy. And if you'd like a copy of this tool, go to nyafinancialpodcast.com, click on request a meeting, and we'd be happy to let you have a copy of this tool. Just make sure to mention that in your request for a meeting on the agenda points there. So I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, and we will talk to you soon.